Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Please feel free to come into any comfortable position of your choice to begin class. And allow your bodies to notice your experience so that you're unhooking in a way from the thinking mind, allowing the attention to move from thought and invited into the felt experience of your body right now. Take a deep in breath and let it go. Notice what happens when attention is brought into the felt sense. And one way of doing so is to direct attention to your inner body experience, the sensation of the hands and the feet, as well as the chest from the inside and the belly from the inside. And to soften the limbs and to soften the belly and the chest. And with this softening, there is a bit more of a giving and a handing over to the ground. The giving away of tension. And to let it kind of release itself into the earth. And then we notice the in-breath and the out-breath and direct the attention to the point where the in-breath is coming into the body. And track it all the way through till its end and release it with the out-breath. Noticing if the breath encounters constriction along the way. We invite the body to soften some more, to offer more space for the breath. And within this recipe of softening open, letting go of tension, and inviting space for the breath, comes a sense of interconnectedness or a sense of connection. With the presence, the present moment. So that we're letting go of our perceived everything that we've brought with us today and inviting ourselves to sink into presence together. Into connection. One more deep in breath. And a full release. And since most of you are lying down, let's all come into a reclined position and invite your bodies to expand nice and long, stretching the arms overhead. And as that expansion happens, stretch your right arm a little higher and right leg a little lower, finding the side body a bit more. And then do it on the other side. And then pull your knees into your chest to give them a squeeze. And start to rock side to side. Release the feet to the ground under your knees. And take your time to extend your right leg up towards the sky. Maybe interlacing the hands behind the thigh. And start to just point and flex the ankle and rotate the ankle through a bit. Crunch the toes in and flare them up, and also begin to find some elongation and flexion around the leg too, so that you're bending the knee and extending it. Pull the knee eventually towards the chest and over towards the right a little to open up into the hip. Back to the center a couple of times, back and forth. Just accessing the hip. And feel free to invite some elongation and bending of the leg at the same time as you go sideways and come back to center. And at some point, invite the leg to release down, back down, and extend through the other leg. And start to bend and extend the leg as well, and circle through the ankle, taking time in between to alternate between the two. Accessing the left hip as well by taking the knee over towards the side and back to center. Release both feet to the ground and rock the knees side to side. Eventually rolling over onto your side to rise up into a seated position. As you come to center, to the center of the mat or the front of the mat, let your hands come to the heart space Rub them together a little, join them at the heart. Feel into the touch of the hands and how they connect to one another. And opening the practice by honoring our gathering together with the sound of Om. Take a cleansing breath, inhale, and exhale. Inhale. Take some time to circle through your wrists a bit, to one direction and then to the other direction. And expand your arms sideways, getting into your shoulders. To the other direction. Come into a table pose. Let your body find that contact with the ground again. Begin to arch and curl the spine a few times. Good. Take some time to re-solidify your spine in neutral place so that your pelvis isn't tilting up too much or down. And take your weight into your right hand and extend your left arm forward. Feel into your pelvis. Notice if you're arching too much or you're curling too much, and kind of reestablish that alignment in the neutral spine. Release the hand and do the same thing on the other side. Again, finding that neutral place, that strong core connection. Good. Release the hand and extend your right leg back, curl the toes under, and keep that length in the spine, that same alignment. Extend the left arm forward. Pull the navel in and up and engage your pelvic floor. Then lift the right leg up as well. Notice if you collapsed in your lower back and see if you can kind of readjust. Good. Now start to just kind of relax into it, pulling the knee to the chest, elbow back, and extending. Inhale as you open and exhale as you curl. Two more. Good job. Release down on all fours. Extend the left leg back, curl toes under. Extend right arm forward. Pull navel in and up, find the pelvic floor. Then lift the left leg as well. Find the stability. Then begin to curl and uncurl. Inhale, open. Exhale. Last time. And release. Good job. Come on up onto your knees and recircle through your wrists. Get really, really long. Tuck the tailbone under a bit. Press your hips forward. Open through the heart. And then make your way into a downward dog. Come back to center, plant your hands, curl your toes under, extending the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. What is it like for your neck? Can it relax a little more? And are you able to come back to that place of connection? Taking those 3 steps that we talked about, kind of unhooking from the thinking and bringing the attention in the body, the feel of the hands on the ground, the pedaling of the feet, the adjustment of that strong core and its alignment with the spine, kind of organizing your body. Contacting the breath, finding space for the breath. And start to shift back and forth a couple of times, kind of alternating between the two, pressing back and shifting forward. Some of you might take different variations of this motion, maybe bending the knees to press the hips back, coming up onto the tippy toes a lot. Good. Find your plank and hold it. Adjust the placement of the feet so that you feel supported. Strong legs and strong glutes muscles can support also a strong core. One more in-breath. And on the out-breath, press back. Downward dog. Reach the right leg to the sky with the in-breath. On the out-breath, the knee comes towards the chest, curl. One more time. And curl. Step forward, coming into a warrior 1 as you dial the back heel down. Open up through the arms, through the chest. Breathe it in. And on the breath out, find your warrior 2. Make fists with your hands to circle your wrists. Inhale, flipping the front palm and reverse your warrior. On the exhale, come back through all the way. Find your plank pose. And taking your vinyasa through, I will give you the option to first lower the knees with the in-breath. On the out-breath, lower halfway, then all the way down. Activate shoelace sides of the feet. Open your heart, breath in. Draw those elbows back, baby cobra. On the breath out, curling toes under to lift yourself back up to downward dog. Deep in breath as the left leg rises up. On the out breath, the knee comes to the chest, curl. Again. And as you curl, step forward for warrior 1 on the other side. Rise with a strong core, breath in. On the breath out, warrior 2. Flipping the front palm to reverse it with the in-breath. On the out-breath, coming back and holding your plank. Find the plank nice and strong introducing the second option of chaturanga, where your knees remain lifted, you shift forward slightly in breath, out breath, elbows hug in towards the midline as you lower halfway. The next in-breath takes you to upward facing dog. Inhale, and on the exhale, a downward facing dog. Those are your two options to take throughout class. You might add some push-ups to fire it up a little if you wish, or you might skip them completely so that you have the opportunity to go straight to downward dog. Especially if it becomes too intense on the shoulders and on your wrists. Let's do the whole thing again. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, knee to chest, curl it. Again. Stepping forward, warrior one. Breath in. Breath out, warrior two. Inhale and reverse. Exhale, cartwheel down to down dog or vinyasa through. Left leg rises, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Again. Warrior one. Strong, stable core, breath in. Breath out, warrior two. Inhale and reverse it. Exhale all the way through. Find your connection to the ground, breath in. Find the space for your breath. One more. And let it go. Bend your knees a lot, press your hips back, inhale. On the exhale, walk your feet forward for a forward fold. Rise all the way up with the next in-breath, active feet. On the out-breath, palms to heart space. Find your feet connected strong to the ground. Find the touch of the hands, the palms. Just feel into the actual palms. Feel into the actual feet. Let your mind become really, really focused on the breath. And we'll flow again, two arms reach overhead, inhale. On the exhale, bow, hinge into a forward fold with a subtle bend in the knees. In for a halfway lift. Out as you plant your palms down and step back, either skipping your chaturanga vinyasa all the way through to downward dog, or taking it with your own variation. Breath in together and out together. And as the right leg rises this time, we will bend the knee to find a bit of a hip opening. As you bend the knee and stack the hips, re-extend that right leg so that it's kind of stacked on top of the other leg, and the hip is open, but the leg is elongated. Press into the bottom foot a bit more to reach higher. Square the hips, inhale, and on the exhale, bring the knee back towards the chest, this time stepping into your crescent lunge. As you rise up, keep the feet hip distance apart, bending through the back knee, reaching the arms overhead. And then take your right hand to your hip or to your thigh and take a side bend. Come back to the center with the inhale. And again, root down a bit more into your legs and feet and reach higher up for a side bend. Nice. Now taking our way into a couple of dips down, taking the hands to heart space. Inhale, rise up, maybe with a lotus mudra. On the exhale, as you bring that mudra back towards your heart, dip down. Take it again, in and out. Let's do 3 more. Keep the breath nice and steady and also spacious. One last in-breath. With the out-breath, as you dip down, drop your knee to the ground, stabilize your feet and your hips, kind of hip distance apart. And take your twist towards the right into a vertical twist, relaxing your shoulders. I like to grab a hold of the thigh with the hand and activate thigh against hand and hand against thigh while trying to find that length in the spine at the same time as a relaxation around the shoulders. Come back to the center, and you can place your right hand on your thigh and open up to the opposite direction, elongating the left arm now. Again, rooting down through the knee and the foot to elongate a little higher, and relaxing your left shoulder. Let's do it one more time. Take that twist to the right first. Take time to twist from the mid-back, maintaining the spaciousness for the breath. And taking it to the other side. Good. As you return back to the center, replant your palms down on the ground. Curl the back toes under and find a hovering runner lunge so that your arms go back and your relaxed shoulders are still being felt, but all that effort and strength is in your legs. Now engage the pelvic floor and pull the navel in and up. Then rise back up into crescent. Breath in. On the breath out, open it up to your warrior two. And as you take your time now to switch legs so that your warrior two is on the other side, on the other leg, settle back into that warrior two. And notice what needs to happen for your pelvis, for your feet. Do they need to switch their situation a little? Deep in breath as you reverse that warrior. On the out breath, come through into a side angle. And allow your body again to resettle its efforts so that it's not working too hard. Find the efficiency in the pose so that your feet are active, your legs are strong, your core is strong. Yet there is room for space in the pose. There's room for the breath. Come back all the way through. Extend that front leg and inhale, reverse the warrior. on the exhale, come back, and this time into a triangle pose, so that you're elongating that front leg instead of having it bent. For 3, 2, and 1. Return back to the center. Have both feet face the wide edge of the mat to come into a wide-legged forward fold. Let your shoulders be relaxed, and your neck as well as your jaw. Spacious breath. Tuning into your felt experience. One more. Now with the out breath, walk your hands back towards your right foot. Come into a runner lunge. Planting both hands firmly on the ground, extend that right leg up and back in a 3-legged dog again. If some of you like to flip your dog, you're welcome to do it now. And returning back into downward facing dog. Reorganize your body in a way where you're finding that middle place between effort and ease. And do the same with the breath, so that the breath isn't efforting, yet it is spacious. One more in-breath, and let it go. Bend your knees, press your hips back, look forward, inhale. With the exhale, walk or float forward into a forward fold. Rise up all the way through with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, bow, forward fold. In a halfway lift. Out, plant palms, step back, either to downward dog or vinyasa through. Breath in as the left leg rises. You bend the knee to dial the hip open. You stay with the hips stacked as you elongate that top leg. Keep active in your left hand a little more. Root down through your right foot to reach a little higher. And then squaring the hips, bring the knee to the chest and step forward for your crescent. As you rise up, left hand stays on the thigh, right arm reaches up. Notice if you're efforting in that right shoulder and if it can kind of soften a little. Then keep rooting down through the feet a little more to reach higher and into a side bend. Back to center once again. Root down. Reach higher. Nice. Bringing hands back to the heart. Let the Lotus Mudra be found at your heart space, like you're holding your own spacious heart in your hands. And as you rise with the arms, inhale. As you bring it back down, dip down and exhale. Now your challenge here is to remain soft and open while at the same time using the strength and the fire in the body. I think it's feasible to do both. Two more. Nice. As you land the knee down, adjust the placement of that front foot so that it's under the knee. And prepare again to root down through the legs. Strong core for a twist to the other side. Now, what does it take for this twist to happen without kind of activating your nervous system? By keeping your nervous system nice and, kind of relaxed. You need to learn where to engage and where to soften. And that comes with practice. Maybe the left arm reaches back, breath in. On the breath out, coming back to the center and twisting to the other direction. The left hand can come to the thigh or to the knee as you open up. Get that palm to face forward, Larry, a little more. Face that back palm, face the mirror with it. Yes, there you go. Come back through to the center. Twist it to the other side. Stabilize your twist. And rather than going through the motions, we could get into a place where we're kind of luxuriating in the detail of each pose and kind of finding the nuances in it. Good. One more time to the other side. Finding the ground, finding the core, finding the relaxed shoulders. Back to the center, planting hands to curl toes under, and then hovering in your runner lunge, hovering. Feel the effort in that front leg, the fire building. Notice your strength in the core and your relaxed long neck. Rising back up to your crescent, breath in. And on the breath out, warrior two. And we'll slowly switch legs to the other side of warrior two. Once you've stabilized your feet, inhale and reverse it. On the exhale, coming through into a side angle lunge. Staying nice and active in both feet, firmly planted, rooted. Yet gracious and soft in your pose. Come back to the center. Extend the front leg as you reverse the warrior this time. Take the nice deep in breath. And on the out breath, finding your triangle pose. One more in-breath. And on the out, come back to the center. This time coming into your goddess pose. So adjust your heels towards one another, toes out. We're going to do that same motion with the lotus hands, lotus mudra, rising up and lowering to the heart. So as you rise up, extend the legs, breath in. Let's do it together. I messed you guys up. And on the out breath, come on down like you're pulling the heaven down into the earth. Again, pressing from earth to heaven, reaching up. And mixing that heaven and earth in the body as you come down. And again. And out. Now I want you to do the exact same thing, but with a smile under your mask. And just see how that smile ends up kind of changing the experience. Even if you think it's stupid, do it anyway. Good. One last time. And as you come back to your goddess, hold. Relaxed shoulders. You can get serious now if you want. I'm choosing to keep the delight. Yeah, and let's just feel the strength of the legs. Like, wow, those awesome limbs we've been given, the strength in them to support us, to keep us grounded in this earth for 3, 2, and 1. Elongate the legs. You can stabilize the feet so that the toes are facing the edge of the mat as well, and elongate the arms all the way up. Get really, really long and tall. And see if you want to find a bit of a heart opener here, maybe placing your hands on your lower back and opening your heart. Or some of you might enjoy the interlacing of the hands behind the back. Into a wide-legged forward fold. Bowing forward, releasing the arms to the ground as you see fit. And then taking any motions or variations around your legs or torso. Two more breaths. Beautiful. Take your way back towards your left foot now into a runner lunge. And extend the front leg up and back in a 3-legged dog. Some of you will enjoy the flip dog, and if so, go ahead and do it. All of us returning back into a downward facing dog. We'll take a strong core stance here by shifting forward in a plank. Solidifying your shoulders on top of your wrists. And let's take the right leg, the knee towards the chest and back in a plank, and the left leg, knee to chest and back. Do that 5 more times on each side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Topping it off by bringing the forearms to the ground. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hips. Find Sphinx pose. Yummy, right? You can open your heart here and stretch your belly. Activating elbows into the ground isometrically, kind of drawing them back as the legs engage and the shoelace sides of the feet activate, including your pinky toes. Now engage your pelvic floor and pull the navel in and up, drawing the sternum a bit more forward as the chin kind of draws back. Then release your lowermost ribs to the ground. Open up through the arms and squeeze those shoulder blades muscles, lifting the legs off the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Forehead onto your hands. Find the ground. Let the body melt. Wonderful. Let's come up into a reverse push-up. Plant your hands alongside your chest. Engage your legs, lift your knees off the ground. Engage your core, breath in. On the breath out, press up, nice and slow. And to down dog. Two more breaths. Nice. Now, reach the right leg up to the sky. Inhale. On the exhale, knee to the chest, step forward for your crescent. Rise up. Breath in. And on the breath out, take your left hand under your right arm, left arm under your right arm, grabbing a hold of your opposite shoulders. Either stay here or interlace the hands for eagle arms. We're going to rise into balance, coming into a warrior 3 variation or an airplane with eagle arms. Shift your weight into the front leg, lifting that left leg off the ground. And prepare to come into eagle pose. Taking that left knee up and over. Maybe this is as far as you go. This is where you work, is in balance. Or you go deeper into a chair with the legs on top of one another. Stay with me for 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands, bring them to heart space, and land the back foot hip distance, opening through that front leg and kind of turning to the left and back just a couple of times. Coming into your Parshvottanasana pyramid pose, activate both feet firmly into the ground and begin to hinge from the hips into that forward fold. And from here, making your way back into a runner lunge. The left foot moves further back. And you step back in a downward dog. If a vinyasa is wanted here, you take it before down dog. And we take it to the other leg. Left leg rises up. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Step it forward for crescent. Keep your feet hip distance. Find your connection. Once you're connected and stable, take the right arm under for either holding the shoulders or coming into eagle arms. Feel the front foot really firm, kind of suction cupping the ground with all corners. Then come into balance, stabilizing all corners as you go along. Engage the pelvic floor and pull the navel in and up for 3, 2, 1. Coming into your eagle. Some of us will just stay here in balance. For 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, palms to heart space, and let that leg land back, hip distance. Do that same turn back and forth to release through the hip. And then start to prep for your Parshvottanasana pyramid pose. Feet are rooted. Spine is long. Heart is open. And you hinge. Instead of stepping back into a runner lunge and through a vinyasa, we're going to walk the back foot forward into a forward fold. Maybe go a little bit deeper in the fold by grabbing a hold of the backs of your ankles or your shins and drawing yourself a bit further down. Knees can be super bent here. Sink down into a chair pose, lifting your chest, arms, reach forward, relax your shoulders. And rise up to stand, hands at the heart space. Close your eyes and regain access to your breath. Regain access to the ground. And feel your hands touching. And as you open your eyes, find a drishti, a point of focus, on the ground in front of you. A point that is not moving, that can settle your attention. And see if you can actually gaze at that point in a soft way. So you're not coming out of your body towards it, but it's coming to you. And from here we'll come into a tree pose. As you shift your weight into your right leg, there's an option to just keep your foot on the ground with the heel on the ankle. Or there's other places you can put the foot, either under the knee or above it. Notice if you're still with your gaze on that point. And how the soft gaze can actually bring softness in the body to the nervous system. And reach those arms sideways. The breath is still spacious. And reach the arms up. The shoulders are still soft. And as the palms come back together to the heart, you can release your left foot back to the ground. Find your feet. Find your gaze. This is like so soothing to the nervous system, you guys. When you're balancing, there is like nothing else that you can think about. So make it meditative. Make it really meditative. Shift the weight into the left foot, situating the other leg or the other foot where appropriate. Find that place in the middle, right? So that you're not over-efforting, but still efforting enough to stay in the pose. Maybe a gentle smile as you open the arms. And reaching upwards. And hands back to the heart. Beautiful, guys. Let's just shake up the hands a bit. Shake up the legs. Bounce up and down into a little bit of a just loosening up all of that tension in the body. And we'll come back into a downward dog, like a nice slow flow. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale as you bow. In a half lift. And out, stepping back to your downward facing dog. The right leg reaches to the sky with the in-breath. On the out-breath, step it forward and start to toe heel it towards the right a little more to come into lizard pose. The right toes face the corner of the room. And you can either keep that back leg elongated, or you can drop the back knee to the ground. From lizard, we're going to move into prone pigeon. So you can drop the back knee to the ground and start to toe heel that right foot towards the left side of the mat. And then once you find this, then walk that back knee a little bit forward. We're just going to do something else real quick. Walk the back knee a bit more forward. And see if it's feasible to kind of rise up a bit. If it hurts your knee, then don't do this. I'm just kind of like squeezing, tucking the tailbone under a bit. And then release back down and walk that leg further back, potentially. Or if it's not available, the left knee can go sideways into a more relaxed prone pigeon. Now, some of us, our bodies don't like this pose and prefer the reclined version of this. So please take care of your bodies accordingly. So yoga offers us a way to get to know ourselves on a deeper level. And it also tells us that the way that we get to know ourselves is by being in the present moment. So redirect your attention back to presence, to the breath, and let it kind of track the breath. And its nuances. You're getting to know your breath and its nuances. You're getting to go inward enough to find some internal space. And by continuing to follow the breath, this starts to happen naturally. Or slowly start to come on out of the pose and transition to the other side of pigeon. Come back to downward dog, and before we come to pigeon, we'll come back into the hip stretch on the left side, finding that lizard pose. And taking it step by step to go a little deeper in the pose. Eventually coming through into your pigeon pose on the left side. Walk the back knee forward slightly at first if you liked that feeling, and if not, then skip it altogether. Maybe rising into it as you tuck the tailbone under and kind of squeeze the glutes. And releasing back into the pigeon. Breathing patiently. Attuning to your body and its needs in the present moment. And as you open yourself up to the experience of presence, releasing tension from the body, with spaciousness in the breath, you can start to feel the silence permeate your experience. Let the silence kind of enter your heart. One more in-breath. Let it go. Coming back up, out of the pose to wrap the back leg around to the front. And then turning all the way around to settle onto your backs, nice and slow. Arriving on your backs, you can take some time to bend both knees, plant the feet under the knees, reach your left leg up to the sky with the in-breath, and on the out-breath, slowly lower it down to the ground. And do that a couple more times. And plant the foot under the knee and take the right leg up to the sky. And lower it all the way down. And back up. And release both legs for Shavasana. As we release tension from the body and allow attention to come to the felt experience of aliveness. The breath becomes spacious. Body becomes soft and open. And we experience the peace that's in the present moment, that's actually always here. And then we begin to notice that it's only a matter of softening and opening to it. But it's always here. Feel into your heart. Let your heart be open to the experience of aliveness. To the experience of peace. Om Satchidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. And begin to bring your attention back to the experience of the body on the ground, maybe with some movements now. And let your body slowly start to reposition itself over onto its side, whether it's right or left side. Resting in a fetal position for a few moments. And rising up to seated. And just take your time to bring those hands back to the heart space. Maybe planting a hand on the chest, whatever is most comfortable. Honoring the ever-present peace. May we have the compassion for ourselves when we are feeling contracted. And may we use some of the tools we learn in yoga class, like finding our feet on the ground and finding our breath, to come back to the experience of connection and be able to sense the ever-present peace. May all beings experience that same peace. And closing with the sound of Om, a cleansing breath together. Inhale. I thank you for allowing me to teach you today. The peace within me acknowledges and bows to the peace within you. Namaste. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Love you. See you soon.